everybody. My name is Neil Guess, and I've got some special guests with me here tonight, and we're getting started here with the Power Lead System, and we've got a great hangout for you tonight, and we're really excited about what we're doing and what's going on. So, if you are new to one of our hangouts, we want to welcome you and just thank everyone else as well that's out there, promoting and spreading the word about this amazing opportunity that's about to launch just after the weekend on September 30th. So we are preparing for that, and believe me, this is 24 hours a day. This is where we've got programmers and the work that's going into this to get this launched on time. I can tell you that we're doing everything we can on our end to make sure that happens, which it will, and doing our best to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible. So just a couple announcements, and we're going to introduce some people here. If you weren't aware of this, we recently not only enhanced our compensation plan, which everybody was just ecstatic about, but we've got the new video on. So if you haven't seen the new compensation plan video, it is now complete. It's live anywhere you go and find it on any of our pages. You're definitely going to like that. So, if you happen to have copied that video, you've got it on your blog or somewhere else, just be sure that you get the updated version. And as we approach launch, I want to talk about this because when we get close to getting everybody signed up, the way that you're going to get started, okay, is from your referral link, the link that you go to check your referrals. So it's extremely important that anybody listening, knows how to find that link. The best way to do it is to go find an email that we've sent, and usually it'll say like go here, and you'll click on that, and it'll be a chart that you can see your referrals. There's a button on there now that you're going to be using to get started on the 30th and those 3 days. And what I'm going to do is sometime during this hangout, so if you come back here later, you're watching live, there will be a link. It's just something I typed up really quick that actually tells you how to get to that link if you know your ID number and obviously your first name. So if you put those in the right spot on this big long link I'm going to give you, you'll be able to get to that your referral chart link. So it's not complicated. It's actually really simple. We just want to make sure everybody has access to this because, and another thing is what I'm going to recommend is, you call your front line, get in contact with the people that you've referred that are on your list, and make sure they're ready to go and you're in contact with them, and then have them do the same thing. That would be a really good thing for you to do. And another thing is, once we launch, all of your opt-ins, anybody that's opted in to your link, those people are all going to be deposited into your contact manager. Okay, Power Lead System has no more ability to contact your people. They're your leads. And so once we launch, again, those are your leads. They're in your contact manager. So we've actually created an email for you that will allow you to go in and send a broadcast to anybody that's opted in to your list, and that will allow you to even give one more buffer, if you will, to get those people started and involved. So we're going to show you how to do that. It's actually kind of cool because we're going to start out teaching you how to do a broadcast, and it's really simple. It's only a few steps, and that'll get you off how to learning how to use the system. We have some incredible things coming. What we're working on, I can tell you that we're never going to stop making this the best that we can. I've been in contact with a couple of different incredible lead sources where if you don't know how to market, if you're brand new, you're kind of green about all this, don't fear, because not only are we going to teach you how to use this phenomenal platform, with lead capture pages and autoresponders and sales pages and all the great things that we're going to give you, all the tools. But then we're going to provide you with some ways to market whatever it is that you want to promote. And the way we're going to do that is done for you advertising, where all you have to do is just place your order, and you're going to basically buy traffic to your site. We're also going to provide you ways to get a guaranteed amount of opt-ins, where you've actually got people that are entering their name and email into your lead capture page, which obviously, you know, then goes into your contact manager. You know, if you don't want to create lead capture pages or sales pages or autoresponder campaigns, that's okay, because we've done all that for you. We're going to provide you with every possible tool that you need to go out there and promote your business, whether it be PLS or anything else. And for those of you that want to go out and create things and your own capture pages and all that, well, great. You know, we're going to give you the tools to do that too. But don't think that once you get in, you're going to have to sit there and try to create all this stuff, because yes, that's there and you're going to love it, but you don't have to do that as a new person just getting started. You can work your way into that. So, you know, Dottie, I know that you've been doing some great things with the Power Lead system, and you know, you've attracted some great people, and it's not all about, you know, a so-called leader or someone that's been in the industry for a while, or I guess we would call it the MLM or internet marketing industry. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and why don't you kind of share some of your experiences and who else we have on the call here with us.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, thanks, Neil. Well, you know, the exciting thing, Neil, is that our system is simple enough for the newbie to use and sophisticated enough for any top marketer. I mean, I really, really believe that. Now, I do want to cover one thing that I called you about today, Neil, so that people will understand, because there was a little bit of confusion. In fact, I'll just admit I was a little bit confused myself as to how it was going to happen. And I said to you, okay, Neil, are the people who are on our early notifications list, are they going to automatically be in the free lead system, or how's that going to work? And you really clarified that for me, so I want to just cover that with people. But what we've got here is the triple bonanza. I've been telling people that the triple bonanza is you can get the free lead system, you can get the customized sales funnels that you can create, and you can also be an affiliate. But when you are on this early notifications list, you're going to have to make each of those choices, okay? So if you don't choose to be in the free lead system, you'll just be in the contact management system. And you all that have those people in that contact management system, it will be up to you to contact people and say, hey, I see that you didn't get the free lead system. Did you miss the part that it's free? and you know, it's just, I mean, systems like this are so great, Neil. They can't do everything for you. For Pete's sake, they're a lead there. And a lead, let me just say this, a lead is the gift that never quits giving. It'll give to you over and over and over again if you appreciate the gift, if you're grateful for the gift. And you do that by picking up the phone, emailing out to people, letting them know, hey, we've got the free lead system, we've got a custom system, and you can be an affiliate. But those are the three choices, right, Neil, that people are going to have to make that first day of what they're going to do. Is that correct?
Yeah, and what we're going to do is we'll actually create those emails for you. I mean, you might want to tailor them or change them a little bit, but we'll provide you the basic email where if you just want to go in and invite all of your opt-ins or your the people in your contact management system to claim their free system, then you just go in there, select that particular email, and send it out to everybody. So yeah, we're going to show you how to do that, but you're definitely going to want to engage these people to take some form of action, whether it be signing up as, you know, a free member or obviously getting started as a paid member.
Awesome. Thanks, Neil. Well, I'd like to go ahead and welcome some of our guests today. What we tried to do was bring on different people this week and sort of show the diversity with which this system attracts, okay? We've got people that are offline. We've got people that are marketers, but that are marketing, like, for instance, Dave in the weight loss industry. You know, he's not in, per se, a, quote, MLM company, but he does have products like that. So, you know, he has to figure out a way to really reach out to them. So there are three different things here. So I'm going to go to Dave first because it's interesting. Dave and I have been working, as most people know, some of us have had the system through Michael Price of Priceless Possibilities, okay? And I was able to get some of my people and start working with them, show them how the system works. So, Dave, you've been creating, this is Dave Smith. So, Dave, you've been creating some lead capture pages. How's that been going for you?
You know, it's been going pretty easy because in the past I've gone and tried to create pages and figure out how to do it, and again, there's a science to that. Where to put the, you know, the buttons, the color of the buttons, all that kind of position, and you spend hours and hours and hours in doing that in the past. And then when I ran into this system and I started using it, I cut my time. I was probably done in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It went a lot quick. It was so much because everything's there. You know, you can upload an image if you need to. You change a little bit of text. But it's so much easier. You have such a wide variety and a selection to choose from that it cuts back the time and makes it so much easier that I go, oh, thank you very much, because there's nothing worse than spending hours and hours on trying to create a page that's going to work.
Yeah. Hey, great, Dave. Now, one thing I do want to remind people is to test your links, okay? Because Dave was so excited, and this is, you know, I'm not picking on you, Dave, but this is such a great example of how we need to approach it. Is Dave was so excited, he said, well, go to my YouTube channel and click on my link and see my capture page. And we had already looked at it, you know, so I go to the link, and it doesn't work. In fact, it goes to this default thing. And so I called him back. I said, Dave, something's wrong. And we looked at the link again. It was working. I said, man, I got to figure this out. Well, tell him what it was, Dave.
It was my fat finger syndrome when I typed. I had an extra letter in the domain, and so it blew the whole thing off. So, yes, I'm a living testament to double-check everything and test it so that when you go live, it'll work.
Yeah, because, you know, just a one letter in there wrong is kind of like, you know, electricity, having a wire not connecting. And you know, you can spend hours trying to figure that out. But DB, that's me, the debugger. I went in there and I was like, I got to figure this out. So thanks, Dave, for sort of sharing that. It's just a good reminder for people. I really appreciate you being on here, and I know it was easy for you to create those pages, and I know you're going to be doing a lot more when you get the Power Lead system. It's exciting, isn't it?
Oh yes, I have all kinds of plans in the making that I've been planning for several weeks already.
Sounds great. Thanks, Dave. Well, I'm going to go over to Patrick now. Patrick Tuttle, how are you tonight, Patrick?
I'm doing great. I'm
Super.
doing awesome.
Well, y'all might have noticed that Patrick was on here last week, but the reason I invited him tonight is because we got kind of an interesting story, and I don't think Sam's made it on. But Patrick, and we spent hours with him this week working with him to get Hangouts on his computer, so we're not sure what happened. But I'd like for you to share the story because I think it's such a great example of how this is a great system for offline businesses, okay? So let's just go ahead and share what happened with Sam.
Yeah, well, I mean, really kind of a great and funny story. You know, I just come down to the office, and it's like 8:30 in the morning, and I get this call, and this guy is asking me, he says, are you the lead guy? Are you the lead guy? Now, got to remember, my phone's a little fuzzy. It's 8 o'clock. I had my coffee. He's got a Spanish accent. I'm like, am I a what? You know? And so I finally got through that, and he says, yeah, I'm looking at this lady on this video. Her name is Dottie. And I've been up all night long, haven't slept a wink. I need a lead system. I'm tired of paying this money to these guys that say they're going to get me leads, and they don't get me anything. And you know, I've been up all night, and I came across you guys because of the promotion and the videos that you have out there. And I just want to know, can you help me get leads? And I said, well, it's a little bit early, sir, but how about if I call Dottie and let's ask her? So she happened to be home. I picked her up. I picked up the phone, put her on the phone, and we just had a great time talking to Sam. But here's the cool part, because when he asked me if I could help him get leads, you know, I'm thinking, okay, what's your internet marketing business? that's our mentality, right? And because that's the space that we're in. And he said, I'm in restoration. I said, what, internet marketing restoration? He said, no, I'm in the restoration business. I need leads. I said, well, pray for rain and wind and fire, and you'll get leads, right? So it was just kind of very comical, but it led me to three things this week. One is, a person like him who's in the offline restoration business. The second one, Dottie, we spoke to was, a lady that has a dog bow business, offline once again, okay? And the third one, was a friend of mine who's using the system here locally who's a plumber. I didn't talk to anybody this week that's a internet marketer. So Neil, the testimony is for people, don't think internet marketing, because all of these businesses, everybody that you touch, your hair salon, where you do your shopping, where you do your gas, where you get your clothes tailored, or it doesn't matter. Everybody needs a lead system. And so Neil, for me this week, it just really kind of changed the focus of how I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. And we did get, some internet marketing, leads this week as well. But, the real, piece of resistance for me was I'm the lead guy. I thought it was pretty cool.
Hey, that's great, Patrick. And I tell you what, maybe Sam will pop up here any moment and we'll get to see who Sam is. But that's a really cool story. And I'm going to go to another guy here. But I tell you what, I want to share what we're going to do in a minute before I do that, because I want you all to get prepared. I told Neil, I said, Neil, why don't we do something kind of crazy? He's going like, he knows I'm crazy anyway. He's like, well, what's that? I said, well, Power Lead System doesn't exist without you out there, the people. I mean, it's not just us sitting here tonight, sharing these stories. And I'll guarantee you that there's somebody out there watching this Hangout tonight. They're going, wait a minute, I've got a story. And I know you do. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to have Neil take the link and put in the chat box, okay? And once it's there, I don't want you to pop on right now, but I want you to get ready. Now, this is what we call Hangout musical chairs. Do you remember when you were a kid? Well, I'm maybe a little bit older than some of you all, but in grammar school, we used to play these musical chairs, and when the music stopped, everybody tried to grab a seat. Well, you see, in a Hangout, there's only 10 spots available. Okay, so you count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us right now. So that means right now there's 4 spots, but as you all start coming on, the people that we've talked to will go off. So it's going to be whoever gets your butt in the seat first gets a spot. And you're going to get 3 minutes, to kind of 2 to 3 minutes, and share your story about how you came across Power Lead System or something neat you've got to share, and then you'll jump off and let somebody else on. But I'm going to go right now to William. Hey, William, how you doing?
Doing fine. Thank you for having me.
Oh, sure, William. Well, we got a kind of crazy story about how you called me today, and I want to say though that William, he's offline basically. I mean, he's in the real estate business, but he's not a realtor, okay? And he's not out there selling real estate, but he does some things where he works with the real estate market. And he called me today. I mean, just, William, share what you called me up and said.
Well, I came across Power Lead System, and I was watching the videos, and Dottie was on that video, and she really impressed me, and I said, okay, let's start doing some research. So I found her on Facebook, sent her a friend's request. She responded back, and this is how all that got started. I was really interested, just like Patrick, in trying to figure out a way to use Power Lead System in the offline business. I think it's a huge market out there. We have a lot of clients right now that we could put together some really creative pages, make it work for them. In the real estate business, we think there's a huge opportunity that lies there for us. Absolutely.
Well, here's the interesting part. William says to me, I really think this can be used in real estate, but I don't really know how. What do you think? And I said, well, I have some ideas. Would you like to hear them? He said, yes. So I said, well, think about this, William. Imagine people being at an open house or at a home event, one of those big shows. And I said it could work a couple of ways. Let's say that you had, for instance, let's say that you had an iPad there or a computer. You could go ahead and you could have up your lead capture page. And all they would have to do is put in their name and email. I mean, think about this for a moment. How many times have you had them drop a business card in that fishbowl, and that card has never gotten in any kind of system that would enable you to contact them? I mean, come on, raise your hand. I mean, I'll raise mine. I'll admit it. You know, you had all those business cards. I still got stacks of them over here. It's kind of like Patrick saying, look at all those programs I've got on my shelf back here that I haven't used. So the bottom line is, what I told him also, think about this. So what if somebody comes by real quick? What if you already have a QR code? Now, for you of those that don't know what a QR code is, it's a little square, and it looks kind of like scrambled eggs, okay? But you see them on packages. So what if you had your QR code up there on a sign, because maybe somebody said, well, I don't really have time to fill that out right now, even though it's name and email. I'd say, well, hey, can you scan QR codes with your phone? And they just scan it. It's on their phone. They walk off, and they say, okay, I'm gonna put my name and email because I do want to keep in touch with you. So that's how you can easily start capturing leads and names for your real estate. I mean, think about how many other businesses you could do that. If you're a hair salon, you have that QR code right at the counter, and when they're paying for their hairdo afterwards, their coloring and all like that, you just say to them, hey, could you just fill that out, you know, and put in your name and email, or scan this QR code? I'd love to keep you on my list. In fact, any type of business could do hangouts like this. Think about that. If you're in the catering business, you could start doing hangouts and giving catering tips and food tips and all that kind of thing. It's all about engaging people, and that's what the system that Neil and Michael have put together allows you to do. It allows you to connect with people, allows you to engage with people, and allows you to keep up that engagement on an ongoing basis. So, William, I know you've got a partner in New York. Tell me a little bit more about what you think you want to do with this lead system as you get out. Are you gonna offer it to realtors or what?
We're gonna go directly after the real estate agents. We feel there's a huge market there. And real estate agents are always looking for the latest technology, the latest tools out there to capture leads. And just like you said, I think it's a great example to design a capture page, whether it's an open house, whether it's attached to a QR code to a business card. I think it could be just an incredible format to use.
Yeah, absolutely, William. Well, listen, I appreciate you sharing that. I'll come back to you all in a minute, but I want to just see, we've got a guest here, and Tim. Hey, Tim, how are you? Wait a minute, we got to get your mic turned on. That's okay. There's a little button right there. Do you see that button to turn your mic on?
I see it. Is that
there
better?
There you go. How are you, Tim?
Hey, doing
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Dottie, thank you so much, and thanks for having me on the call. I'm Tim Siebert out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been in the industry about 37 years now. My good friend Kevin Campbell and I go all the way back to the late 80s, and Kevin gave me a call back last month and said, we've got something that I think is going to help your main business. And
Are you still there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Yeah, you might want to mute out your the Hangout page.
Yeah.
Mute the Hangout page? How do you do that?
Or just exit out that browser you were on.
Gotcha. Okay. That's better.
This is the kind of fun part of coming on. Then you kind of have to turn off the other part. But that's okay. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, great. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for having us on, all of us on the call. I'm Tim Siebert out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been in the network marketing industry about 37 years. I currently have 2 residual streams built in 2 other companies, one from the late 80s and one from the late 90s, early 2000. And I also own an auction house, a fairly large size auction house in Charlotte that I just decided to go out and start. And it's kind of funny because for the last 3 months, I've been looking at a way to brand our company online and, of course, develop a lead system. And we were in a meeting, and I got a call on my cell phone last month from Kevin Campbell, a personal friend of mine, and Kevin and I have been in a few two companies together over the last 37 years, and he said, you know, I've got this incredible program that allows you to brand yourself, get you all kinds of leads and tools and things like that. And I said, I was looking around the room and I said, wow, is there a bug in this room? And literally it was timing. Timing is always everything. But what I wanted to share with everybody on tonight's call, because I've been watching through the chat room how everybody's talking about, you know, everybody is your customer. But what Power Lead System, what PLS is going to offer everybody is that opportunity to walk through a door that most network marketers have not had that opportunity to do, and that is to be able to go out to companies, to individuals, and teach them and allow the system to teach them how to brand themselves, how to develop a lead system, how to increase what they already have and have it pay for itself and earn an extra income along the way. That's as powerful as it gets. I'm excited about being a part of this team with PLS and look forward, of course, to the future. So thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, you're welcome, Tim. Are you still there? Did we lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, your picture, you went away on camera, so maybe you can turn yourself back on. There you go. Yeah, I really appreciate you being on here. Tim, one reason is because I live in Blaine, Washington, and do you know how long it's been since I've heard somebody talk like me? A very long time. So you know, this is just great to connect with you. But I want to just mention and acknowledge you for what you said, because I call this Power Lead System the knock-knock door opener. So if I knock and you open the door and I pitch you some business that I want you to, you know, or I try to sell you something, you're going to slam the door in my face.
Right.
But this is the best of attraction marketing. When I knock and you open that door and I say, hey, Tim, good to see you. I understand you've got a business. I sure would love to help you grow your business. Now, you think you're going to listen to me?
Yeah.
Absolutely, because you're like, wow, she's got something I need. And that's exactly what happened for you. So I think, how are you going to do this with your auction business? Did you get any ideas when I was talking about real estate, about what you could do with the QR code and all?
Oh, yeah. It's just, you know, I'm working with Kevin on that right now and a few other people, but I can see it actually growing our auction business. You know, the auction industry is an industry that's growing very similar to the network marketing industry, but of course it's a one-person show. But to fill those virtual seats up is something that we're looking at, because we're going online with our auctions, which now opens up a worldwide market to our auction house. So the PLS system is definitely going to afford us the availability of being able to put people in those seats for an online auction. So we're pretty excited about that.
Well, this is great. I mean, Tim, you're exactly the type of person I hoped would jump on when we kind of put the link out there to people who are watching the Hangout, because I know a lot of people are out there who have a story and we don't necessarily know them yet. And so if there's anybody else out there who will really just jump on here right now and share what, you know, you're doing with PLS, or, you know, how you're preparing. So how are you sharing this with other people as well then right now to help them in their business? Did we lose you? Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Tim, I think you froze for a second. I think we might have lost him for a second. Well, let me just say again, if there's anybody out there who wants to pop up here and join us and share your story about Power Lead System, we're getting on 30 minutes, and we kind of wanted to keep this around 30 minutes, but we sure would love for you to jump on and share with us, anybody out there. So, Neil, I know that you've got just some ending comments, and if we don't have anybody else right now, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Well, Dottie, I mean, great job tonight, and you know, it's great to be able to bring in, you know, other people and hear about how, you know, others are, you know, bringing some people in and how they're marketing. And it's not all about internet marketing or internet marketers. You know, the offline arena is so huge, And there's so many different ways to market this and to let people know. And I just want to let everybody know how much, not only the people that were on the Hangout tonight, all of you, but everybody else out there that's promoting PLS and sharing it. We're just so grateful to have you, and we're going to continue to work night and day to get this thing out. And now, actually, Dottie, I just noticed we had someone else pop up for a second.
Yeah, I saw. I think the name was George. So let's see if he gets on, because I'd sure like to get some stories from other people. Neil, I don't know if you're as impressed with as I am with just the diversity. I mean, think about the small business, offline businesses around the United States and just everywhere around the world. There's George. Hey, George, how are you?
Hey, George, welcome.
Joined us? Hey, George, can you hear us, and can you speak? Let's get your mic on. There'll just be a little button. If you put your mouse over down by your picture, there'll be a little button over the microphone. So if you can just click on that, we'll sure open you up.
Yep, there you go. You're good.
Right.
Hey, welcome, George. Good to see you. I think I've seen you around.
I've seen you around, Dottie.
Well,
The
come on
famous
and
Dottie.
share about Power Lead System. I'd love to hear some more.
Well, I tell you what, my background is a background of owning a company called the networkmarketingmagazine.com. And I've known Michael now for over a decade. And it's been great. I've been one of the lucky few like you, Dottie, that has used his system, become proficient at his system, and I ended up meeting Neil maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, and I've been so thrilled about the friendship that has developed with Neil, because I really appreciate what he's done to add simplicity to Michael's system through the Power Lead system. I see that the Power Lead system is a system that absolutely will end up taking a networker that has just not been able to taste success, is going to go ahead and find success through a system that articulates their primary business. And I love the tool. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the compensation plan that Neil has wrapped around this tool. But the reality is, this tool is the thing that's going to make the Power Lead system not only grow but explode and be a mainstay in the network marketing industry for years and years to come. And so I'm really proud to be one of the people that are heavily promoting it to our members, because I absolutely know that if they hook up to the Power Lead system, they will find success in their primary business.
Absolutely, George. I couldn't agree more. And I think the quality of the product just speaks for itself, George. I shared this last week, but I think it's worth repeating that I've had top internet marketers now call me and say, Dottie, I would use this system even if I didn't get rewarded for sharing with it, because they need it that bad in their business.
Right.
And for such a reasonable fee, it's just, I've always said that even Michael with Priceless Possibilities, that actually he didn't charge enough. So anyway, it's great to have you on here, and I appreciate your feedback.
Well, thank you.
Hey, George, I know that you actually created a funnel not that long ago, and you were telling me about your first sale into one of your primary companies. How was that?
Well, you know, it was really pretty interesting. I was asked to do a sales funnel for a fairly new company, and what happened is that as I ended up going through and making the funnel and learning more about the company, I ended up realizing that I really love this company. And so I joined the company. And it took me probably 6 weeks to get to the top of the company. And the only reason why I got to the top of the company was because I used the tool. And I ended up to get to the top of the company, you needed to sponsor 25 people. And what happened was, for the first time in decades in network marketing, I ended up having my first person that ever joined me without ever talking to me by going to a link. And by the time I got to the top of this company, I had 5 people end up joining me without talking to them whatsoever. And what that told me is that this sales funnel articulated everything a person needed to make that decision. And it was awesome. It was awesome. I might join a couple others.
Hey, that's what you can duplicate too, isn't it, George? I mean, that's the real key that people get stuck on, is they try to over-explain their opportunity, and they say it one way and somebody else says it another, and then if you have that you can literally pass along to people, it's awesome. I want to.
Well, I was with a big network marketing leader this morning for breakfast, and he was just trying to figure out what to say about the Power Lead system. I mean, his address book is so extensive that any one of us would be jealous of it or would want to have it. But what I ended up indicating to him was, first of all, I said to him, if you were to make $1,000 for every person that came into the Power Lead system, how many calls would you make if that was what would happen? And
Yeah.
he said to me, well, I'd make 100 a month. He said, how many would you make? I said, 50 a day. Because what happens is that at 50 a day, you don't get a chance to start telling the whole story over and over and over again for 3 hours. You got a minute, 2 minutes. And the main thing you want to say is that the sales funnel that Neil put together, just give them your link.
Yeah.
Just say to them, this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Take 10 minutes and take a look at what's on this information funnel, or take 4 hours and listen to me tell you about it. And everybody's going to say, well, I'd rather spend 10 minutes rather than 4 hours. So
Yeah.
fine, do it. And then
Yeah.
if you have any questions, then give me a call. And if you can do 50 of those, and so he was excited. He went home and started making calls.
That's great,
So
George.
thank you so much, Dottie. You're
Hey,
doing
thanks,
great.
George. I'm gonna hit over to. We've got another guest here. Let me see, Marcus. How are you?
Hey, I better bring the microphone in. Hey, it's absolutely fantastic to be here. All the way from the UK, it's like silly o'clock in the morning, 3:39, and I'm buzzing.
Hey, that's what I
Absolutely
call
buzzing.
commitment. I love it. So tell us how you got involved with Power Lead System.
I've come across a very good mentor, which is something I've lacked for some time. I've tried to go at things so blind and not had the success. No problem getting out there. I can do all the background stuff, but the attraction marketing, the getting out there, it's just been a dream to me as this. You know, and the group we've got going, the team we've got going, it's just growing by, well, it's like hundreds a day. It's phenomenal. And I think the key thing here is, I don't think people realise the simplicity of this, the ease of this,
Yeah.
at every single level. And I can come in and say that unbiased because, you know, I don't think I've ever spoken to any of you guys. I've seen Dottie about, I've seen various people about, but never spoken to you. So I can say that with, you know, with hand on my heart.
Well, great, Marcus. And let me just ask you this. When we come on, you know, of course, we talk about Power Lead System and we don't mention our specific business, but I'm just curious, are you going to use Power Lead System as your opportunity, or are you going to use it to drive people to an opportunity, or a combination of those two?
I think it's going to be a combination. I will be taking. I'm going to try and take a little bit offline. I'm actually a Google trusted photographer as well, which is just my love of photography. So I'm getting out there into businesses, local business, and I'm seeing a lot of connections. And it's funny the things you mentioned earlier, Dottie, how this, when you really think about it and stop and think outside the box, it goes well beyond, I think, online. It's going to go offline as well. And I think to bring people from offline online, if you get what I mean, especially the social side of it, it's just going to be phenomenal.
And obviously from around the world. I mean, when you take a system like this, I mean, in 188 countries, anywhere people are, offline, online, and let's not forget the nonprofits or a group, or if you just have a passion about something. Let's say you're a skier and you want to hook up with other skiers or something like that, you know, you could get you a list going and then put it out, you know, in your area and connect with people, and that's really what it's about. So I just appreciate you jumping on here because I know it's in the wee hours, and we're going to kind of end it up here. Neil, I'm going to throw it back to you again. Marcus, thank you. George, thank you. Patrick, hey, Tim, William, Dave, who jumped off, and I appreciate everybody. So Neil will just wind it up now.
Dottie, thank you so much, because, you know, I wasn't sure, you know, you tell me, hey, we're going to put a link out there and just let anybody come on. I'm kind of scratching my head a little bit, like, really? Like, what if we get some crazy person? But no, this was fantastic. Thank you so much, you know, Marcus and everyone else, and Tim and you guys that have come on, George. That was just awesome. That's exciting. So I just want to thank everybody again. Let everybody know that we are launching this Monday. Okay, it's right around the corner. And if you're watching this on the replay, and pretty soon, I'm going to have a link on this page that will help you get to your link where you can see your referrals. It'll show you how to enter your, you know, your little ID number and things like that. So I'm just going to say thank you so much. We appreciate everyone so much. We would not be here without you. So with that, in about 5 minutes, the recording's going to be on. So thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Neil.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.